What's up, guys? Nightcore here, and I just hit my mic, but today it's currently 12:58 a.m. by the time I'm recording this, and I can't sleep. My parents are already asleep, but I'm gonna be recording this, and today we're gonna be talking about Sister's Story. This is another thing that's related to the MasaWorks series. We already covered Maha's story and Anabi, and now we're going to be talking about this. So, again, all this shit is, I'm reading it off of the MasaWorks wiki. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. But before we do this, I know that after this video, I was supposed to make like a complete timeline of all the series, but I'm gonna have to hold off on that because tonight, I discovered something. There's still 2 more series that I haven't covered, possibly more. We got The Secret Story and The Liar Story. Oh my god. I'm gonna check to see if there's any more after this, but oh my god. Yeah, no, I'm checking, and I think this might be it after those 2. Then I could do the timeline, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. So, without further ado, let's get into this. So, The Sister's Story is a song trilogy about 2 sisters starring Gumi and Hatsune Miku. Beginning with the song Watashi no Natatsu no Owai ni, released on May 21st, 2013. Continuing with the second song, Watashi no Hitotsu no Shizunu wo. I probably mispronounced all of these, I'm so sorry. Which was released on January 24th, 2014. And ending when Watashi wa Futari no Owai ni was released on June 25th, 2015. Background: The Sister's Story is a song trilogy about 2 sisters, starring Gumi and Hatsune Miku. Beginning with the song Watashi no Natatsu no Owai ni, released on May 21st, 2013. We already read that. The story tells the tale of 2 sisters, Amaterasu, who is represented by Miku, and Tsukuyomi, who is represented by Gumi. Tsukuyomi and Amaterasu are sisters, with Tsukuyomi being the elder one, described as mature, whereas Amaterasu is the younger one, described as playful. As children, Tsukuyomi notices that her younger sister hates and envies her for being beautiful and gaining positive attention from their peers, thus calling Amaterasu a hanya, or something like that, which is the Japanese term for a jealous woman who turned into a demon because of her envy. Describing Amaterasu's behavior and how she is acting perfectly. On Amaterasu's 7th birthday, they both get into a petty argument and fight, which results in Amaterasu stabbing Tsukuyomi in the abdomen with a staff, killing her. Then Amaterasu proceeds to bury her sister secretly at night, and as she does this, she sings and dances around the grave, telling her dead sister that she loves her. With Tsukuyomi gone, Amaterasu takes her place and pretends to be her, thus covering up her crime and making it as if it was her, Amaterasu, who had died. As decades pass, and after deceiving everyone, Amaterasu is now in her adolescent years, still with the appearance of her dead sister minus the glasses. She begins to believe that she really is Tsukuyomi, that her sister is out to kill her, and after seeing a spirit that looks like an older version of her, who is in reality Tsukuyomi's spirit, disguises her original self, trying to confuse her. Tsukuyomi's plan succeeds, as by Amaterasu's 19th birthday, her sanity unravels as she questions her own identity. Unable to remember which sister she is, her appearance changes, one side is cut up short with an almost bare forehead, while another side is tied in a single twin tail with long bangs. Looking in the mirror, Amaterasu sees them both as one person, as if their souls have become one, when in reality they're still 2 different people. I am you, and you are me. By now, Amaterasu truly starts to believe that she is a vessel that holds 2 souls, hers and her sister Tsukuyomi. She lets out a cry. She hears her sister's screams from inside of her stomach, making Amaterasu stab herself in the same place as she stabbed Tsukuyomi on her 7th birthday. In order to escape the madness and the voice of her sister she keeps hearing, therefore ending 2 lives at once. In the end, While bleeding to death, she realizes that she is, in reality, Amaterasu. In fact, she killed Tsukiyomi, not the other way around. It is implied in the songs in PV that Tsukiyomi, once Amaterasu died, possesses her body and lives on. So the songs basically talk. Oh, I hit my mic. So the songs basically talk about what I already talked about. Yeah. However, it does say at the end of Watashi wa Futari no Owaini that Amaterasu's corpse is seen smiling with an open mouth at the end of the PV, laughing and humming even. This heavily implies the fact that Tsukiyomi possessed her sister's body after her death. Then there's also another song, Akiyago, and the quote for this is Demons and Will-o'-the-Wisp. This song is not part of the sister story, as it is only meant to be contributive to Masa's popular series. However, it features the final look of Amaterasu that was seen with Watashi wa Futari no Owaini. Interesting. So then we got a different interpretation of this. So there's a different interpretation of the sister story. Being non-confirmed by Masa and incorrect, it was deemed non-canon and irrelevant. However, the writer does say that it definitely deserves an honorable mention here. So the two sisters were originally one soul, a Hanya mask. Although somehow the soul splits, resulting in both Tsukiyomi and Amaterasu. At some point, presumably on their 7th birthday, they both figure out what happened to their original soul. They vow to correct it by stabbing each other at the same place, thus killing each other at once, in hopes that the soul will become whole again. They carry out their plan, but it doesn't work because, unlike Tsukiyomi, Amaterasu doesn't die, and as a result of her attempt failing, Amaterasu pretends to be Tsukiyomi and covers up everything as she lies to everyone. Eventually, Amaterasu dies, and the soul splits again, reincarnating in another body. However, the soul is in two pieces despite being in the same body. The host of the body finds out about this on her 19th birthday and goes insane, as she has two souls inside her at once. She then decides to take on the plan of the sisters and enacts it, killing herself with a stab to her abdomen in hopes that the two souls will become one again. Luckily, the plan finally works. The souls of the Hanya mask become one again, ending the cycle of suffering for the two sisters. So, some theories. So in the Watashi no Natatsu no Owaini PV, both sisters are portrayed with a Hanya mask, representing envy. It is understandable for Amaterasu. The reason why Tsukiyomi was portrayed as jealous of her sister is unknown. However, it could be because Amaterasu got to be the young and playful sister, while Tsukiyomi got to be just the mature and beautiful sister who had to keep an image. That's pretty understandable. The Watashi no Futari no Owaini PV, Tsukiyomi is portrayed with a no mask, which represents a beautiful woman. This can possibly be how Amaterasu saw her sister, a woman much more beautiful than her, whereas she was just a demon. In Akiyago, it is mentioned that one of the twins' heads is turning into flowers. This could be alluring to the imagery in Watashi no Hitosu no Shinso wo PV of Tsukiyomi's head being covered with flowers. This could be interpreted as the ikebana flower arrangement, used to describe beauty. Or it could be, which could be used to describe beauty, or it could be seen as flowers growing in Tsukiyomi's grave. Amaterasu pretending to be her sister poses a lot of issues, as they clearly don't have the same voice. It is possible that Amaterasu made a deal with a demon of some sort to sound like her sister, but it's considered a bit of a stretch since the sisters are both twins. Amaterasu disguising herself as Tsukiyomi to avoid the blame for killing her is considered a bit strange, as people would still be concerned about the death of the other sister, but it's possible that people did not like Amaterasu enough to care. Damn. Okay, so in the trivia, this does state an actual date for where the entire series takes place, just the sister story. Actually, so the sister story takes place around the Taisho era, 1912 to 1926, which is a bit after the Anabi series. So it says a bit after the Anabi series, which could be like a little bit. Sorry, I had my mic, or like a lot bit, but I'm gonna say a little bit. So I like to think that the Anabi series takes place 100 years before the sister story, or a little bit after 100 years, after the effects of Ikari's curse wears off. So it would probably be around 1812 to 1811, and then maybe the Maha story will take place around after Sister's story. So let's say the Sister's story takes place around the beginning of the Taisho era, 1912. And then 19 years after would be 1931. So maybe 1932 is when Maha's story takes place. So a little bit after the end of the Taisho era. So, the page refreshed, but we're gonna learn a bit about Amaterasu now. So Amaterasu is a character from the Sister Story series, portrayed by Hatsune Miku. She is the younger sister of Tsukuyomi, but both she and her sister are named after gods in the Shinto religion. So she killed her sister on their 7th birthday after a petty argument between them both. So I'd like to think that, so it does say unknown parents, however I will say, I think it would be pretty cool if, Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi were, I hit my mic again, related to, Kaori, which is, the sole survivor of, the killings in the Castle Town. So, I'd like to think that they're, aunts, maybe they're, maybe they're related to the doll maker, who created the doll that the Anabi was in Will o' the Wisp, maybe. Even though the doll maker fucking died. So not much can be known about her personality, but assumptions can be made. So Amaterasu was young and was mentioned to be playful and immature compared to his sister, who was the opposite of her. Okay, so relations. Tsukuyomi. So Amaterasu is Tsukuyomi's younger sister. Not much is known about how they felt about each other, but assumptions can be made. On one side, it can be seen that Amaterasu loved her sister dearly, caring for her and helping her. An example of this is Amaterasu aiding Tsukuyomi with her eyesight, and Tsukuyomi aiding Amaterasu with her troubled way of speaking. On their 7th birthday, after killing her sister, Amaterasu sings and dances around her grave about how much she loved her. On the other hand, it can be seen that Amaterasu is envious of Tsukuyomi's beauty and her gain of praise from her peers, which, after a petty fight, led her to stab her sister in the abdomen with a staff, killing her instantly. So, some theories can be made. So, whether Amaterasu loved or hated her sister is difficult, as many facts in the story contradict each other. One theory states that she truly loved her sister, had a great relationship with her, and killed her because she loved her. That's pretty weird. On the other hand, this love can be interpreted as Amaterasu doing her sister a favor, as in she killed her because she could take her place and become a much better her. The reason for Amaterasu's envy of Tsukuyomi is her beauty and gain of praise. There is a theory that she was jealous mainly because of the fact that the sisters are twins and look almost identical. There is practically no reason for one twin to look more beautiful than the other. So trivia. She is named after the goddess of the sun of the universe in Shinto, Amaterasu Omikami. Amaterasu had trouble speaking, but she has perfect eyesight. Okay. And then there's Tsukuyomi. So Tsukuyomi is a character from the Sister Story series portrayed by Gumi. She is the older sister of Amaterasu. Both her and her sisters are named after gods in the Shinto religion. She was killed by her sister on their 7th birthday after a petty argument between them both. A decade after her death, she returns to haunt her sister, disguised as Amaterasu's original self. So, personality. Not much can be known about her personality, but assumptions are made. She called Amaterasu a Hanya as soon as she saw how her sister was envious of her, which can be incorporated as Tsukuyomi being sort of hostile towards those against her. But at the same time, it seemed that she was favored being an obedient daughter, thus beautiful in the eyes of her peers. She could also be considered unforgiving and intelligent. As she returns later as a vengeful spirit seeking revenge, Intending a plan to disguise herself as the original Amaterasu to haunt her sister and confuse her immensely, leading her to kill herself. So, relations Amaterasu. Tsukiyomi's the older sister of her. Not much can be known about their relationship in detail, but assumptions can be made. On one side, it could be said that Tsukiyomi loves Amaterasu, for when she suffered from her speech problems, she offered her help, and Amaterasu reciprocated by helping her with her poor eyesight. On the other, it can be said that they hated each other, as Amaterasu was envious of Tsukiyomi's beauty, and Tsukiyomi was aware of such, calling her sister Hanya. Not to mention that as soon as they fought over something petty, led Amaterasu to snap and stab Tsukiyomi through the abdomen with a staff, killing her instantly. But it's possible that they did not hate each other to the point of resentment, and still loved each other very much. So, quick trivia, she is named after the moon god of the Shinto religion, Tsukiyomi no Mikoto. Tsukiyomi has bad and weak eyesight, but she can speak perfectly. She shares her name with Tsukiyomi from the Anabi and Maha stories. So, since we still have 16 minutes, since we're God damn it, I keep hitting my mic. Since we already gone for like 6 something minutes, let's actually talk about not the sister story, but the secret story. Because I think it would be interesting to talk about. It probably looks rather short. So, the secret story. Himetsu no Hanashi, popularly known as The Secret Story, is one of the very few series created by Masa. Not much is known about the series itself due to how scarce information is. The first song, Himetsu no Kinkyo, was released on April 27, 2016, with its prequel, Himetsu no Hako, released on February 23, 2018, and its final song, Himetsu no Owari no Shukufuku O, on December 1, 2017. But the PV was made on August 27, 2018. All the songs of the series were released on the Alcatraz album. So background. The Secret Story seems to have been a trilogy alongside the Sister Story and Liar Story, as they all seem to center on the topic of body fusion, or swapping and taking revenge. And since Secret Story is a trilogy alongside Sister Story, it's connected back to Anabi. Same with Liar Story. That's why we're covering them. So, Himetsu no Hako. It's a business story of long ago. It began with a noblewoman and her greed stuffed into this box. Well now, shall we give it a name? Story-wise, it's the first song of the series. This song tells the story of two women lusting over each other. For an unknown reason, they began to put all of their desires into a presumably cursed box they create and named the secret Goldfish. At some point of the song, it escalates into cutting their own body parts and stuffing them into the box, as part of an idea where they could make a friend from scratch. The box is later passed on to the next pair, where the same thing repeats itself again. Himetsu no Kinkyo. The child doesn't show people the treasure, but just had to the child didn't show people the treasure, but just had to show it to a close friend. It's a silly little best friend promise. We are such good friends. Possibly taking a few weeks, months, or probably even years after the events of Himetsu no Hako, a box is obtained by an unnamed woman portrayed by Gumi. The woman's best friend, portrayed by Hatsune Miku, finds out about the box she had hidden away from her. In doing so, the best friend faces the consequences. To make the best friend truthfully seal the promise, the unnamed woman assumably gauges her friend's eyeballs out and tortures her. Jesus Christ. Himetsu no Owari ni Shukufuku O. This is the story of a box and the girls who were at the mercy of it. Despite being the series finale, not much context is given here in the song of PV. Presumably the characters might not be the same woman from Himetsu no Kinkyo. However, their kimonos have been swapped, and the best friend seems less innocent than she originally appeared. This series set in very early Japanese Showa era, 1926 to 1945, which likely makes it the most modern Masa series that primarily uses traditional Japanese instruments and style. So there is a comment here though that shows a theory, and I'm gonna read it. It's by boyfriend.xml5. Thank you for the theory, my guy. Here's a theory. Yes, I know Masa already showed this can story. So there was a movie about two girls taking their body parts and putting them in a box and sharing them, which explains the cinematic film effect thing, and they pass it on to someone else, which leads to the secret Goldfish, which is a sequel to the movie explaining how these two girls are the ones they pass on. While Miku is hesitant, Gumi is happy. Gumi tries to convince Miku to share, but she doesn't, which forces Gumi to rip her eyes, and Miku attacks Gumi, killing her. It was supposed to be a third movie, but they cancelled it, which is a blessing on its secret's end. Two fans were upset that they canceled the third movie, so they try to reenact it, basically ripping one's eyes and doing the same plot as the movies. But they switched up the characters and they go insane, because they forgot their real identity, so they murdered each other. Jesus Christ. So I'm just going to quickly check the characters. So first off, unnamed woman betrayed by Gumi. So she's a character in the secret story. She's the main antagonist of the series, and owns a box called the Secret Goldfish, which she proceeds to put human body parts in and keep secret for her peers. She eventually tells her presumed childhood best friend about with the box. So she is, of course, okay, so personality. Ribs, nose, fingers, even ankles. I want to collect them all. Jesus Christ. So not much is known about Secret Goldfish Gumi's personality, but one thing is for certain, is that she seemed psychotic and even delusional, possibly killing people and stuffing their body parts within a box for a reason unknown. One could say she is also manipulative and cunning. As when she told her best friend about her secret habit, she could have possibly tried to convince her to participate in it. Now that she knew the secret, saying that they were friends multiple times, maybe even guilt-tripping her. I thought to shut off. Okay, good it didn't. But by Miku participating, it meant giving either one or all of her body parts to Gumi to put in the box to create a friend. So very life. Not much is known about Secret Goldfish Gumi's childhood, but what is known is that, at a young age, she became close friends with another girl, Secret Goldfish Miku, even going to the extent of being best friends from childhood to possible adulthood. At an unknown time, Gumi found a box containing human body parts that the original two owners left after their deaths to pass on. Gumi, possibly feeling an obligation, decided to continue the legacy of the box by killing and keeping more body parts within it. She could have possibly kept the box a secret from her family, peers, and even her best friend for quite some time. Mitsu no Kenkyo. With one piece of you and one piece of this girl and one piece of that girl, I'll make a friend. Jesus Christ, this is kind of disturbing. One day, Gumi decided to tell her best friend Miku about her treasure and try to convince her to participate with her making a friend using a box. Miku, unsure, said that she didn't know if she wanted to do it, but Gumi, wanting Miku to truthfully seal the promise and never tell anyone about her secret, presumably gouged her eyes out and tortured her. So, theories. There is a common theory that this Gumi is one of Mai Shikusa's reincarnations, seen by how they are represented by the same Vocaloid and share the same outfit. Not to mention that it was said in Maha's story that Mai is stuck in an endless cycle of reincarnations. What? Excuse me? Huh? It is unknown where or how Gumi found the box, but it is possible that she was a descendant or relative of the two original box owners and was passed on to her before their deaths. Excuse me? Where did that tidbit of information come from? Okay, let's just move on to the childhood best friend. So, Secret Goldfish Miku. So, she is the presumed childhood friend of the Secret Goldfish Gumi, is later mutilated and loses her eyes after discovering her friend's secret box. So, Himitsu no Kinkyo. In this song, Gumi tells Miku about the secret box. It's not specified what happened to cause Miku's murder. Though it could be assumed that she didn't keep it a secret and told many others. This could have angered Gumi and made her cut Miku's limbs and gouge out her eyes. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So anyways, let's continue on to Liar's story. We're going to do a marathon with this one. So Liar's story. Liar's story is a song trilogy about two or more liars and the general subject of lying to another or many, starring Gumi and Hatsune Miku. It begins with the first song, Usotsuki no Kimi to Sono Yoru ni, followed by the second, Usotsuki to Keita Kimi, and ends with the third, Usotsuki no Kimi ni Hanataba O. All songs were released on April 15, 2019, in Masa's third album, Albino. So, background. The series was initially planned to have a PV of its own for all songs. Seen by Teaser's Live, speed paints on Masa's Twitter and YouTube channel. However, it has since been cancelled for unknown reasons. Due to the series cancellation, Masa not bothering to speak about it much after that, the series went on to become ambiguous, mysterious before falling into irrelevancy within the fandom. As a result, the story remains unknown to this very day. But what we do know is that the story centers on the subject of lying and liars. Specifically between two girls, represented by Gumi and Hatsune Miku, while also playing with tongue-cutting illustrations and imagery, possibly being a metaphor for cutting a liar's tongue, preventing them from lying even more. From another perspective, it can be interpreted as fearing what that person would say and falsely accusing them of being a liar for one's own benefit. It's noted that this story seems to have been a trilogy song series alongside the Sister Story and Secret Story, as they all seem to center on the subject of body replacement or fusing and taking revenge. Usotsuki no Kimi to Sono Yorimi. From the lyrics, the song seems to talk about a terrible and twisted tale where a girl has put too much faith in a lie she heard somewhere, with the girl being a brutally honest person. Of all the strange noises that can be heard in the song, cha-cha-cha stands out the most. Perhaps it's the sound of something or someone being muffled when speaking or making noise. It may be the result of the cut tongue. Okay. Oh, I hit my mic again, my bad. Usotsuki no Keita Kimi. The song seems to be a prequel of some sort. Proof of this is that at the end of the song it is asked, when will the pair meet? Possibly referring to the brutally honest person of the lying girl. Again, strange noises of cha-cha-cha are heard in the song multiple times. Usotsuki no Kimi ni Hanataba O. The story seems to depict the fate of the lying girl, being exposed for her lies to many, showing that when trying to pin the lies on someone else, all laugh at her attempt. It is unknown what happened to the brutally honest person, but it's possibly that they took their revenge on the lying girl by cutting out her lies, probably by cutting out her tongue. Interesting. So, fan interpretations. The order of the songs in this series will be followed like this: Usotsuki to Ketakimi, Usotsuki to Kimi to Sono Yoruni, and Osutsuki no Kimi ni Hanataba O. I'm getting good at this. I will call the girl represented as Miku Uso, and the girl represented as Gumi will be called Shojiki. Shojiki is a brutally honest girl, as she never tells lies. Meanwhile, Uso is a liar who lies to get along with others and escape from her problems. The two girls were sad people. Shojiki was rejected by others for being so honest and always resorting to sincerity, while Uso was a mythomaniac who lied to get the attention of others due to her low self-esteem and insecurity. My bad, I keep hitting the mic. At the beginning of the story, Uso meets Shojiki. After this, the two girls ended up falling in love, but neither of them really knew each other since Uso didn't know how honest Shojiki was, and Shojiki didn't know that Uso was such a liar. This relationship caused Shojiki to tell lies, and Uso to tell the truth due to their influence on each other. Shochiki believed the terrible lie told by Uso to be true and told it, while Uso expressed her honest love to Shochiki. After meeting Shochiki, Uso disappeared from the others and spent her time in Shochiki's house. This was probably to hide from the others because of her lies. Shochiki spent a long time thinking that the lie Uso had told her was true, until someone else told her it was false. Shochiki was seen as a liar since Uso had told this lie only to her. She had said it as if it was true. The honest girl tried to defend herself by saying that she heard that lie from Uso. When people asked Uso if she was responsible, she pretended to be the victim and seemed very sad, to which the people, feeling sorry for her, decided to believe her. After this, Shochiki was hated because of lying. Upon her learning that she had told a lie, Shochiki became quite angry at Uso and confronted her. Uso, trying to appease Shochiki, proposed that each of them would cut their own tongues with scissors to form the words lie and honesty. They didn't completely slice their tongues. They just carved the surface of them to leave engraved wounds. The lying girl wrote the word lie in her tongue, while the honest girl wrote honesty. It is to remind herself of what they really were. This action was probably a somewhat unusual form of self-harm, as they were both trying to punish themselves for what they had said. After this, the two girls danced, sang, hugged, and kissed with their tongues still bleeding as a way of reconciliation. Uso hoped that Shochiki wasn't overly honest anymore, and Shochiki hoped that Uso wasn't such a liar. But neither of them really knew each other. They both promised that nothing like this would happen again, and demonstrated their sincere love for each other. The girls sang a song multiple times that said, "I found your lie and kept it hidden, surrounding myself with honesty. Let's sing a pitiful song of lies and honesty. I swallow up your lie, whom that honest person erases." Shochiki realized that Uso couldn't stop lying, so she gave her the option of being able to lie, but only to her and no one else. This being represented as swallowing the lie so that no one knows about it. No one knew that Shochiki was absorbing Uso's lies, nor that Uso stopped lying thanks to Shochiki. Meanwhile, the couple continued cutting their tongues to form the same words as a ritual, producing deep wounds that made it difficult for them to speak and sing, which is why the sounds choo-choo-choo and cha-cha-cha are heard of the lyrics of the song. Because of absorbing so many lives, Shochiki's honesty became corrupted. Shochiki began to think that all the lies Uso had told were true, becoming confused because she was not used to lies. They repeated the ritual of cutting their tongues and dancing many times to calm themselves down. But this was no longer effective. Because of the desperation they were feeling, love turned to hate, making Shochiki angry at Uso for lying so much, to which Uso lied by saying that Shochiki was the real liar, confusing her even more. This hatred went so far that the two girls began threatening each other, saying that they were going to kill each other, mentioning slicing out their tongues and hanging each other. Uso decided to take revenge on Shochiki, because she had given her true love and her partner now hated her. Uso, who had not been seen since she was victimized, hid her face and told people that Shochiki was a liar, saying she had told lies that Uso told her as if they were true, which made her look like a liar. People made fun of Shochiki and insulted her, believing that she was a liar, so Shochiki went insane, and her hatred towards Uso increased dramatically. Shochiki devised a plan to get rid of Uso once and for all, but first, she had to calm down. Once calmed down, she lied to Uso, telling her that she wanted to reconcile with her, that she really loved her. Uso believed her, trusting that Shochiki was still an honest person and being blinded by the love she felt, which had extinguished her anger. Uso told the truth, admitting that she was the one who pushed Shochiki to lie, that she was always a liar. People soon realized this, so Shochiki's reputation was restored. It seemed like Uso had finally told the truth, but that wasn't entirely true. Shochiki had lied to her about wanting to reconcile, about her honest love for her. But now the liar was Shochiki. Shochiki began a revenge plan and, after writing the word honesty for the last time, cut out her tongue with the scissors. After that, she attacked Uso and cut out her tongue as well, writing the word lie, and sewed her tongue into Uso's mouth, and sewed Uso's tongue into her own mouth. Not satisfied with this, Shochiki took a rope to hang Uso. well, watching her as she suffocated and eventually died. After all this, it is not possible to know with certainty what happened to Shojiki. The three options may be that she continued her life normally being an honest person, or she became a liar, or she committed suicide for having killed her partner. The destiny of Uso was death. The song Akigayo, a part of the lyrics hint that Uso was in that march. This is because it mentioned a hanging tongue cut girl. So the theory was made by Azakshif Himetsu, whatever that means. Okay. Something happened on my laptop. Hopefully that doesn't mess up the recording. So, trivia. In actuality, there is no clear song order of the series. What will be followed is the order on Masa's release on either iTunes, SoundCloud, or Spotify. So anyways, I first want to know, what's this whole Akigayo thing? I'm gonna try to translate this. So, translate. Here we go. The text language. Place this in. Aki align. Let's try this. So, let's translate to Japanese, because I think I know what this is. Demon March. No, I don't know. I don't know what this Akigayo thing is. So anyways. Let's continue the trivia. So Masa could have possibly canceled the series because he grew out of traditional Japanese music. As the series is known to be one of the last traditional Japanese songs that Masa uploaded as of date. Another reason for his cancellation would be a lack of either motivation or inspiration. As Masa hasn't bothered to play the sketches he made for this series for EPVs to this day. It is believed the liar story is inspired the fable Shitakiri Suzume, or Tonka Sparrow. Of two of the liar story songs heavily mentioned by title, and all three seem to mention sparrows, Suzume, a lot. So, okay. I do have a theory. I don't know if anyone's gonna like it, but so I think that the people in both Liar's story and Sister's story are the same. So I mean, instead of being a couple who are in love with each other, maybe it could actually be Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi, maybe. With Tsukuyomi, of course, being the honest, more mature and beautiful person, while Amaterasu was a liar and was very mature and playful. And instead of cutting off a liar's tongue, it could be that that Uso decided to kill Tsukuyomi during their argument about, liar and shit like that. And then, of course, the whole events of Sister's story play out. I don't really know. But, yeah, I learned a lot with this. My reincarnating a bunch of times, and, apparently more about this Akigayo thing, or whatever it is. I'm gonna try to look it up. But yeah, of course, that's gonna be it for the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's very long, but, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Alright, hit my mic again. Next time I do a commentary video, I'm going to be doing the entire timeline of this. Or at least attempting to. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, peace out, y'all.